We are back, and welcome. Vital Perspectives, and I'm your host, Dr. Marwin Spiller, and we are here at the NAACP office talking to a very insightful group of young people about life in Peoria, life in America, race, policing, voting. We're covering the gamut. Before the break, we were talking about how racism is experienced from the perspective of males versus females. And you were saying that a lot of the experiences that your male counterparts here experience are not necessarily your experiences. And could you care to further elaborate on that?
Such as the fact that I wouldn't have to deal with being stopped or pulled over because of my hair or because of the way I'm wearing my pants. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel as far as like in the work environment, like mm-hmm. he said, mm-hmm. like I've been in a work environment where particular people don't get in trouble for certain things that other people do get in trouble for. And it's mm-hmm. like it was the same act, but because the other person did it mm-hmm. and they may have not been in favor of that person, then mm-hmm. it was a problem. Mm-hmm. I have experienced it in that such sort of way.
Right.
But as far as that, it's always covered up by, oh, well, it was because of how you associated it or how you mm-hmm. committed the act. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But like he said, it's swept under the rug mm-hmm. and it's covered up with mm-hmm. other reasons.
Yeah. And certainly there's a long-standing conversation in the community about prioritizing folks' pain in the sense that, you know, do black women experience racism to a greater extent than black males? And certainly we know that we all experience it. It's just different. We can't say that yours is any worse than yours. It's just different. But what are your thoughts on that? Are you of the mindset that we are still dealing with the same old issues? They just are packaged differently. That, you know, racism is still here, just not as blatant. It's a little different, or has
I feel like the issue is still there. It's just like you said, packaged differently. As African American male, mm-hmm. I feel like everybody loves us, they hate us. You know, for example, our culture made millions, billions of dollars, you know, mm-hmm. advertising it on TV, from music to the way we wear our clothes. So I feel like it's a lot of money generated off that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, you know, but you still have police officers killing African-American males. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I feel like racism is still there. It's just in a different form.
Okay. Now, let's talk about that, the culture. There are some who would argue that young people today celebrate all the wrong things in the culture. What do you say to that? I mean, how would you push back on that? I mean, or would you say that is a problem? Is the music the problem?
I feel like that statement is sometimes true, but then it comes from communities where we live at. Mm-hmm. If you don't have nothing positive to celebrate, you're gonna celebrate the negative stuff. So I mean, that's how I answer that question.
Okay. Look like you wanted to chime in there.
I feel like that can also come from being misguided as well. Like if you, like he said, if you don't have that love and compassion in the home, like mm-hmm. you're just going out and doing what you think is right, or what you making your own pamphlet to how you gonna live. Mm-hmm. So there's nobody storing that in you and feeding that into you. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, like you probably will go join a gang and start selling drugs.
Is it still acting white to do well in school, or is that a myth?
I mean, nowadays, it's cool to be smart in school. Like for some people, and for others who don't know things or who's scared to ask questions, that's not cool. You know, it's not cool to be smart. You're a nerd, or like you said, you acting like a certain way. And I can only speak on that because the schools I went to, it was always grades, 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 grades. But I want to come back like to the music because like for the simple fact, when I used to walk out my door, nobody told me, because my parents didn't know what I was into. Like nobody told me the drug dealer, he bad. No, you just see he making money, he got what he want, and that's what it is. Now with the music, now I come up with music, different types of music. I was always taught to listen to it, not embrace it. But I wasn't ever taught not to embrace my surroundings. So when I hear something about dope on the music, I can relate to that. When I hear something about keeping a gun on you, I can relate to that because when I walk outside, like, and I go around the corner, I don't have to go overseas to go to war. There's somebody around the corner trying to kill me right now. You know, and nobody said that wasn't cool. You got to protect yourself. That's all you heard. They didn't say, oh, it ain't cool to keep a gun because you keep a gun, you looking for trouble.
Right.
So when they listen to this music, they just see, like, basically looking in the mirror. This is what I go outside to every day.
So you would reject the notion that if the music was saying something different, we would be different. I mean, and I'm just speaking of what's the effect of listening to hours and hours and hours, you know, of that. I mean, does that have an effect on you?
See, like with known facts, if you put Will Smith on the table or put Kevin Gates or NBA YoungBoy, Will Smith's not gonna get played because we don't live that Will Smith life. You know, it's not the music, it's the person who's listening to the music and the people that's standing behind him to tell him like, no, that's not cool, or no, don't do that.
Right.
You know, if nobody's there to tell him that's not cool, this is what he know.
Okay. I think I saw you wanted to grab the mic.
I wanted to go back to that white and black thing. You said, is it cool acting white? To me personally, it's no such thing as acting white or black. Like, I really don't understand that statement, but I know what you meant. Like, that just comes from being programmed to act this way. Like, stuff we see on TV or, for instance, music we listen to, they act in a certain way. That don't mean I'm gonna act like that.
So you would say, for at least for you and your peers, you're not influenced by the music, by the culture.
No, I just live my life, but I wouldn't say it's a white and black thing. Like, I wouldn't say, oh, that dude over there, he acting white. Maybe he was brought up different.
Yeah.
So to him, that's not acting white. It's
Right.
being polite. You know. So I mean, that's just my opinion on that.
Okay. What about y'all? You any thing you would like to add to that? Do you think the music is have an effect, the culture have an effect? There's we celebrate education just as much as we celebrate the violence.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk about actually both topics, but I'm gonna start with the music thing. Like he said, you go where you can relate it. So like what you listen to and you see it every day. You got family members and even like your parents can be doing it. So that's all you know. So that's of course what you gonna follow in their footsteps and you're gonna listen to it and you don't have to act on it, but that's all you know, then you're going to act on it. You know, and with the black and white thing, that's just how people look at us. And I say us, I mean the black people. Like they say, like when you eating or something, and you say you want to wipe your face with a napkin. They say stop being white and just wipe it off. That's not acting white. You don't want to be nasty. You want to show that you have manners. You want to, like you said, be polite.
Right.
So it's just how people look at us as being black as being savage-like and being rough, and being white as being uppity and how you carry yourself.
Have we internalized that? Have young people internalized those thoughts that others have of us?
Well, people might say they don't care what people think about them, but they do. Because honestly, they doing everything just to see how people react. They want people to think like, oh, look what he doing. Oh, I like that. He's cool now. They not doing stuff for them. They doing it for others, especially for their peers. They just want to be basically the main person that everybody like. They want everybody to look at them. They want to be the star. They want to be shining.
Yeah. Well, I want to take another break and come back on the other side to dive a little deeper into this topic. This is certainly something I think that many of our listeners can relate to. And so we'll take a break and come back on the other side. I'm your host, Dr. Marwin Spiller, and this is Vital Perspectives.
Gospel Peoria. Tune in Saturday nights at 7:30 on Comcast Cable Channel 22. Watch revealing positive information with various topics, people, and arts. Also, be sure to visit our Gospel Peoria TV Facebook and YouTube channel, where you can watch show segments, information, and updates about the program. That's Gospel Peoria TV on Comcast, Saturdays at 7:30 p.m., Channel 22. Now that's television with an innovative touch.
Welcome back to Vital Perspectives. And we are at the NAACP office talking to a group of young people about life here in Peoria, in America, and just a whole host of topics. And I want to switch gears here and just fast forward 10, 15, 20 years from now. Do you all see yourself living here in Peoria? 10, 15?
No, not me. Hopefully, I don't have to be here for 10, 15 more weeks. I'm trying to leave as soon as possible. I'm trying to go to where more opportunities is at. And, I mean, striving, you can always strive for something better. But what you can do in the meantime, you can't just sit and wait. You have to keep something up. You have to support your family and friends and everyone that look up to you. And me as being a dad, okay, we striving to do better, but we still have to make the money and support our family and stuff in the meantime. We can't just sit there, because that's the case, they gonna starve, no clothes, school supplies. What you gonna do?
So you've given up on Peoria as a place that can give you the opportunity that you want. You feel you got to go somewhere else and get that.
You have to. Peoria is not offering anybody anything. Like you said, like it's one of the worst cities for black males in the country. And how long it's been like that? And what have changed about that? We still shouldn't be at the bottom. We should at least moved up a little. Obviously, they're not doing anything. Obviously, they don't care. So go somewhere where they do care. Go somewhere where you could be something.
Okay. What about you? You plan to be here? Make Peoria your home?
I actually do plan to be here because this is where I grew up, and if anything, I'm going to try to make as much as a difference by the way I live my life, you know, to be that example. If all it takes is for me to be positive, for the next person to see that you can make it, then that's definitely what I plan to do, to be a role model and to help others who don't have that guidance or those family members that care or that will motivate you and push you to do better.
Okay. That's cool. What about you? You plan to be here for the next 10, 20 years?
I mean, no, sir. I'm just going to say it out like that. No. I plan to go places. I mean, I want to travel. I want to see the world. But at the same time, just like he said, I got to go somewhere to make something of myself. This will always be home. You can't change that. But you can change the way you see this place. I mean, I don't like Peoria for the different reasons. Like, I lived other places, but everything bad happens to me here. And I'm not sure if that's because I stayed too long, but as far as like felonies and getting treated differently, it all happened here. I'd have been treated worse as far as racism in Peoria than I did when I lived in Alabama. And that says something.
Right, right.
And I will always try to give back to Peoria if I have the means to give back. But I don't want to stay here.
At least not forever.
Not forever.
Okay, all right, all right. What about you? Peoria's gonna be home for the next, you think, next 10, 15 years?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know.
Would you like it to be?
Peoria can get better, yeah. But I mean, we can't make no progress, especially in our communities. I mean, I don't know if that's on us. If we all gotta rally together and show the people that we want more for ourselves. But
Right. And what are some concrete things that needs to change, that needs to happen in Peoria? I mean, certainly opportunity. Well, I mean, what are some concrete things?
education, I believe, is one. That's the key, actually. We got too many kids dropping out, and that's because they got to worry about getting jobs or how they gonna help their people eat, or because they in a messed up situation. I mean,
Yeah. So we need to the education system have to get better in the way that it treats and educate our kids.
we need more role models, our black role models in our schools. I feel like that's what we need to be to positive role models in our schools to correct behaviors, especially behaviors that are learned in the streets and at home.
And speaking of that, I know you went to a private school. Did everyone else go to public schools here in
Yeah, I went
Peoria?
to public schools.
Public schools. How many African American teachers did you have?
I had one that was like kindergarten. I still remember her name.
What, through your entire educational experience?
Yes,
One?
one.
You had
I
one?
only had one too.
How many did you have?
I had a couple. I went to District 150 for a while.
Okay, so you had a couple. Couple as in more than 5?
No, not more than 5, because after my 3rd grade year, the rest of my school year I spent in District 62.
Okay. Okay. How about you?
Well, when I left private school, I went to public school for high school, but out of all that time, I only had one.
One. Okay, okay. Certainly, city needs to do better than that.
Absolutely.
It needs to do better than that. I want to talk about organizations such as, NAACP, the Urban League, perhaps your churches. Anyone involved in an organization? Involved in church?
Well,
I attend Star of Hope in my spare time, and I can say that that's had a lot to do with keeping me out of trouble because when I wasn't in school, I was either at church or at home. And the time that I did spend at home, like I had bad influences and I had people that could have influenced me to go other ways, but the impact of my family and my church and my peers was bigger on me than the bad experience I've had and the influences. So I can't say that that's a positive thing for me. That's probably why I am where I am today.
Okay. All right. Now, what about your relationships? Is it harder for young people to get in, stay in healthy relationships?
I feel like it is because, like, I feel like young people got a problem like starting relationships, trust issues. So, I mean,
Does that start from home first? I mean, where do the trust issues come from at such a young age?
it can start from home, but I mean,
Well, me personally, I've been in the same relationship for the last 10 years. And it did start from home because my grandmother and grandfather, no matter what they went through, they stayed together. My mom and dad, no matter what they went through, good or bad, they stayed together. It's all about love, and all those like trust issues, I still have them, but I got to put them to the side. Like, and my trust issues, they didn't come from home. They came from my dealings with people outside of home. But I put it to the side, and I guess, not to sound corny, but love does conquer all sometimes.
Okay. But I think it's fair to say, at least statistically, that you are in a minority, and it sounds like you got both parents at home, grandparents. What about you? What do you feel like is it hard for young people to establish and maintain healthy relationships?
I feel like it's not hard to. It's just that individual, they don't want to. They want multiple. They want to experience everything. They don't want to hold still and try to work things out and work on things. They don't have patience with anything. They're too quick, too anxious.
And that's been the story of your peers, you and your peers?
Yes, that's how I feel, yes.
Okay, all right. Do you share those thoughts?
Yeah, I would say trust is a big thing. Like he said, after a certain amount of times of being let down, you just like, okay, whatever, why even get my hopes up now? Like, I'm not gonna trust you. So that's definitely a big thing. And if you're somebody that doesn't have a relationship with their mother or their father or people that's supposed to be close to you, there's no way you're gonna know how to have a relationship with someone else if you don't even have that established in the home.
Yeah. Do you feel like young people, in fact, are doing better with regard to their kids than perhaps the older generation? I mean,
I don't think so.
you don't think so?
Nah, to be honest. You got a lot of single moms raising their kids by themselves, got to work 2-3 jobs. You know, dad locked up in the penitentiary because he went out and did what he thought was necessary because, you know, choices he made. So, I mean, I don't think the younger generation is doing better.
Can I say something?
Okay.
Well, I want to talk about the males, not really the females so much, because the females, it is a lot of single mothers and stuff. But if you think about it, people our age and peers, how many of them have fathers in their lives? Like you said, they could be in the penitentiary or they just had their reasons why they felt to leave. But in my generation, and me in particular, I've been my son since day one, and he lives with me and everything, and all of my friends and other family members are the same way. So I feel like our generation, the fathers are there, and older generation, the fathers was gone.
Okay.
That what he said does make sense, because if you don't have that leader to teach you how to be a man, you're not gonna know how to perform like one. So therefore, the second generation, they might want to be there for their kid, but they might not know how to do it the right way.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like a cycle, really. Broken chains, everything get discombobulated.
Well, from my personal experience, like my mom and dad, they were together, but then eventually they broke up. But my dad still was there. And I wouldn't say, well, I will say I feared my parents. I wasn't their friend. Nowadays, these kids don't fear their parents. So when you look at it, no matter if it's both of them there or not, if you don't teach them respect and fear, and I don't mean fear by just putting your hands on them, but these kids don't even say yes sir, no sir, or yes ma'am, no ma'am. They cuss in front of adults. Sometimes the parents and kids cuss together.
Right.
But the younger generation does have it worse because, like he said, they go, like you said, the last thing, they want multiple people, men and women. So a lot of these kids see different men coming to their mom's house or different women coming to their dad's house, so they get confused.
Right.
And that's the cycle right there.
Yeah. Wow, we are out of time. We could have went another hour or two. There's a lot, but I thank you for your time, your insights, your perspectives, and we got a lot of work to do. But I'm a bit more confident. I think that if our young people are anything like you all, that there's hope. There's hope. I thank you all. You've been tuned in to Vital Perspectives. And we hope to see you back next time.